never seen anything like that. I mean, I've seen Jiu-Jitsu, but those guys are amazing.
A great honor to have the Machado brothers.
Machado.
It's Carlos Machado.
This episode is brought to you by Machado Method Nutrition, premium fuel for disciplined athletes who train with intent and recover with purpose. Live the method, fuel the life. Start now at machadomethodnutrition.com. But let's actually hold.
Okay,
and
cool.
We'll actually start with that.
I just started recording, so I wish you guys could start over because that's such a
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Let's start over. You ready?
Yeah, no.
Okay, no intro. All right, so here I am with someone that I admire, and I didn't know much about it until my kids came to me and said, "Hey, so and so is a comedian. Oh, he was on American Got Talent." Oh, I know that there was one student, nonchalantly, very down to earth, tough as hell, and I didn't know where he came from, what kind of experience he had, but I enjoyed training him, and I knew you first as Jovan. All
Yeah.
right, so I'm calling Jovan here, Jovan there, and so my kids, Ray, the one who manages our academy, yeah, Jovan here, Jovan there. I said, okay, cool. And then later, wait a minute, he's a famous comedian. His name is not Jovan. It's a preacher, and then Preston. For some reason, I was not sure which one of the two, and I kept calling you the wrong
Yeah.
name for the longest time. You're always smiling like everything was cool.
Yeah.
And your address was not the real address we wanted to send you. So I'm sure you probably had some stalking stories to say.
Yeah.
And I'll live up to that. But I just like the fact, as an instructor, I got to meet the human part of you before the celebrity part of you. And
Yeah.
that's the one I relate the most. And martial arts is like a common ground.
Yeah.
They were there for the love of the art, and we just want to grow, and we share knowledge and we help each other out. And then we build from there. But needless to say, I enjoy your jokes, and I think you have great demeanor on and off the mats.
I appreciate that.
So now I want to hear why
Well-
you fooled me for so long.
Well, the address thing is like I don't put my address on anything, so
I don't blame you.
Yeah, so because I did have like some stalkers, but I remember. But my stalkers are really nice. They're very kind. They're just like I don't want.
Still,
I'm just like I don't want
Nobody
you here. Yeah,
knocking at your door in the middle
Yeah,
of the night,
yeah.
coming unattended. Yeah.
exactly. But what happened was I said my name is Preacher. And when I say my name is Preacher, Preacher's not a normal name. So
Mm.
people always think I say Preston, or they think I say Richard. So when you said Preston, I said Preacher. You like Preston? And I said, yep.
So
I
let's
just-
settle with Preston.
I just told you it's Preston. And then I enjoyed it. You called me Preston all the time, and someone ruined it and corrected you. But I like being called Preston.
I
I'm gonna take this jacket off.
and like I said, I'm pretty good with names. Not trying to brag, and I felt like a fool. Not in a bad way. I said, I feel embarrassed. How can I not call Preacher by his right name for so long?
That's because I lied.
You know? Yeah, you are nonchalant. You're just, everything's cool. You go there and do your workout and have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anything you want to say about this story?
I first came to that gym. I just went for I wasn't planning on signing up for that gym. I was like, I just want to get some rolling in. And then I got there, and it was, your gym is fantastic.
Thank you.
I did not like jiu-jitsu like that. I didn't. I was more of a striker. You know what I mean? And then I just was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Maybe I'll do the week trial thing.
There you
And
go.
then I just I feel like going to your gym, I like fell in love with jiu-jitsu, especially gi. I was so anti-gi. I was like, I don't want to.
Is that
no
crazy
gi.
or what?
I know it's crazy how it works, but I just it was really cool. It was really cool. I mean, going there and trying to be everyone treats me nice. Everyone's very nice and very kind, and before they knew anything.
Yeah, that's the cool part. I guess you came somewhat not revealing yourself or what you do, how popular you are.
Yeah.
So you gave people a chance to see you just
Exactly.
as you.
Yeah.
I do like that because I think celebrities have that two-layer thing. You see the person on the screen, and then you see the person in person, and there's always that difference. And sometimes you have assumptions. And I'm not judging people. I think we all are prone to having virtues and vices or whatever,
Yeah.
good and bad. But I think martial arts brings the best
Yeah,
in
yeah.
all of us.
And it makes
Yeah.
put you to a base level because no
Yeah.
matter how high up people can think
Yeah,
of you,
yeah.
you can get choked out. So
Man,
so it's-
definitely so.
Right.
So this episode is sponsored by Stay Humble Coffee. Coffee is so good, it doesn't need to brag. Find it at stayhumblecoffee.com. One thing that intrigued me, I always ask what experience you have, where did you learn, how much you learned. So let's kind of dig a little bit this. When or since when martial arts has become a thing for you?
So I started training.
Sorry.
It's all good. I started training late 2019.
Uh-huh.
I went to this gym called Uprising MMA in Los Angeles, and I just did it for a workout. You know, I started going rock climbing. I just think the gym is boring, so I try to do different things as a workout. And so I started training 2019, and then shortly after that was 2020, and then everything kind of got shut down. It was weird. And
This was in LA?
this is in LA.
Okay.
And I didn't really do jujitsu like that. I kind of just did striking.
Hmm.
I love Muay Thai, so I was really in that. But I would maybe do jujitsu maybe like once a week. Sometimes I do it twice, and sometimes I would do it like once a month. And a lot of times I just wouldn't. I just didn't. I thought it was not boring, but I was like, I like striking. It's like more like
Yeah.
And I did that for a little bit, and then 2021 early, actually, excuse me, 2020, I injured my shoulder. I got a slap tear in my shoulder in Atlanta.
Doing what?
I was doing jujitsu, and I
Jeez.
was grappling with a CDC champion. Yeah, and I remember
ADCC?
yeah, ADCC champion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
ADCC champion.
Man, the guy was not nice to you.
Oh man, I mean, you know what? I think he was. I mean, he was really good. You know,
Right,
he was just really good. But I guess I don't remember it happening. I just remember the next day I couldn't do a push up, and I was like, that's weird, because we'd like do drills in the beginning. We do.
Did the guy get you in a submission or something?
I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. I just know the next day I couldn't do a push up.
Jeez.
Then for 6 months I couldn't do push ups, and
That
then
kind of sucks.
yeah, then I was like, all right, I'm never doing.
Jiu-jitsu
I'm never
again.
doing jujitsu again.
That was it.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
man.
someone convinced me to do an MMA match. So the following year, I did an MMA match, and
Are
then
you serious?
yeah, I did an MMA match. Yeah,
Man.
and then that was in 2021, and then I was doing some more grappling.
Tell me about the MMA match,
Oh,
though. What
okay.
happened?
So the MMA match, it was terrible.
Oh, come
So
on.
it was great. It started off good. I felt really confident. I was fighting at 170, right, 170 pounds. And I was at 174 pounds the week before.
Where was that at?
This is the MMA match was going to be in Los Angeles.
Okay.
I was living in Vegas though.
Like amateur?
yeah, amateur.
Okay.
Yeah, amateur.
Who in the hell were you fighting?
I don't. Some guy.
Some guy, huh? No tape study or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
You just knew you would meet somebody there.
Well, see, this guy, the guy I was supposed to fight was 0-2. You know, and
Oh,
he was very fit, but I was like, that's a beatable guy. So I was fighting him at 170 pounds. I was at 174 pounds the week before. Then they canceled the fight because of COVID. And so I was sad. Then I was eating a bunch of candy and food and soda, and I just ballooned back up. I ballooned to 190, which I've never been 190.
Wow.
I'm usually
I
like
can't
180.
imagine that. Yeah.
So, and then I was like, no, I want to do a match. So I found a match in Stockton, California, the week of. And I was like, I'm doing that match. So I had to cut 20 pounds to do the
In
match
1 week?
in 1 week.
Holy.
And after I already gained the weight. So after you already cut weight and you gain the weight
How'd you
again,
go about
it's
that?
hard.
No eat, no drink,
Man,
sauna?
I was a sauna. I was doing
You
the
gotta be
stairs for
careful.
like 45. It was terrible. It was really bad. And I had the sauna suit on, and the day before I made the weight. I cried. I was so like, it was terrible.
You said you made the weight?
I made the weight the
Okay.
day before, and then we drove 8 hours up to go do the weigh-in. So we drove 8 hours up. I didn't sleep, and I did the weigh-in, same day weigh-in. So I weighed in, and then we fought that night. And I think my body, it took a toll on.
Yeah, he was in shock.
Yeah. So, but I wasn't scared. It's weird. I wasn't scared. I don't know if that's normal, but I wasn't. I was like, oh, I'm gonna beat this guy. I was pretty confident.
Yeah.
And then the first round, like I didn't even have a mouthpiece either. The mouthpiece.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, you're lucky.
I know. It was crazy. I had a mouthpiece, but I got it like that that day it didn't fit in my mouth, and I had to like distract the referee by dancing. So
So he didn't pay attention.
so he
to
didn't
it.
pay attention to my mouth,
Oh,
Then I got on the, in the, ring, and I was like, okay, let's go. The guy that weighed in, he was way bigger than I remember. And then, the bell rang, and I felt really good. And I've never tried to hurt anybody in training. And I just, I threw a punch, and I remember his head like dropped, and I was like, oh, I got him. And I just started swinging, and I just was swinging. I was swinging. I was like, man, this dude's, he's not getting tired, but I'm getting tired. And then he was like, well, I'm not. And then he beat me. He beat me a unanimous decision because I beat him the first round, and then the second round he kind of was on top of me, and then the third round but it was but I was upset about that because I really felt like that was a winnable fight.
You
for me.
had it, yeah.
Yeah, and I really dropped the ball, but I was like, whatever, I'll train for another MMA match. And then like maybe a couple of weeks later, I was grappling, joking around. Someone picks me up, slams me, and tears my MCL. So I was like, I'm never grappling again.
Jeez,
Like I'm never grappling. So I didn't.
Crazy.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
what a luck you had to grappling.
I know.
First you bust your shoulder, then your knee.
I know.
What the hell?
I know. That's why I was like, I'm never grappling again. So I was like, I'll do
I don't
strike.
blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah. So I didn't grapple. I stopped grappling in 2021, and then 2024 September, I went to your gym. And then I was like, I'll try it out because I couldn't find any boxing gyms near me. And so I was like, I'll just try this out while I'm waiting. And then I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I just like,
We didn't bang your shoulder yet, right?
no,
Come
no,
on
no,
now.
no. My knee jacked up though.
Yeah, you're doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
I have to tell you,
Yeah.
you scare me sometimes when I watch you. You do this spinning,
Yes, but
pulling your leg out and your knee twist left and right. I was like,
yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
told me about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah.
put your knee like this.
Yeah,
You're like, you can get away for it a little bit, but there's,
yeah.
but
That's cool, man. I like the fact that you like jujitsu, and I
love
think, yeah, you went recently to my brother-in-law and father-in-law's gym,
yeah.
Upstate Karate Pitch Black.
Yeah.
How was your experience out there? You trained with Weston, and you said you
Yeah.
knew Weston Wilson already, right?
Yeah. I met him when I was in Vegas. I was actually sparring. I was doing some boxing. I boxed him, Sean Strickland, a bunch of UFC fighters that were up there.
Yeah.
And it was
How much boxing have you done?
I mean,
For a while?
a lot of boxing. I love boxing. It was probably my favorite
Yeah.
until I fell in love with jiu-jitsu.
Don't tell that to your boxing friends. Come on.
Oh, really?
You can't tell. You're not the first one. I had some guys that a guy, really nice. His name is Steve out of Canberra, Australia. He's a boxing coach, tall as hell. Yeah, it was a very good guy, and he started doing jujitsu. But he was kind of like, I'm not gonna grapple, just jujitsu thing. And I guess one time he entered the gym and had a good experience, and then lo and behold, the guy does more jujitsu than boxing these days.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
addictive, isn't it?
It's super addictive, and
Yeah.
it's just like not as much brain damage.
Yeah.
Because if you do boxing, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah,
Like you got to be okay with getting hit.
yeah.
And but yeah, I love boxing. I just it's funny if I'm watching sport. I don't watch jujitsu. I watch boxing.
Yeah.
But I do find myself enjoying grappling exchanges more.
Yeah.
Now that I've been
Yeah.
in the jujitsu.
It depends what tournaments or events you watch in
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu, because a lot of jiu-jitsu competition, because the rules format
Yeah.
is boring as
It's
hell.
boring. Yeah, yeah.
The guys stay sitting around for
Yeah.
9 minutes. You
Yeah.
see two guys, supposedly badass guys,
Yeah.
but you don't see jiu-jitsu. That's why
Yeah.
I thought the mainstream media, it took a while for them to pick it up.
Yeah.
And we can talk about different tournaments later on. I'm part of one that I'm excited about, no-gi grappling event. I'm going to mention that, but let me focus on you here real quick. I read some stuff about your life before I came to talk to you today. At age 10, you moved 20 times. Was
Yeah.
your dad in the military or something?
No, my dad is you know where my dad at. You have as much knowledge of where my dad at as I do.
Holy
I
crap.
don't know where that man's at. He's gone.
Man.
No, he might be doing something. I don't know. But my mom, yeah, we were in the military.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in the military. My dad was in the military, and I don't remember him though. But yeah, that we just moved a lot. I think my mom, she got like uncomfortable. She was like, "I'm gonna get out of here." We just moved. So
Mm.
I mean, 20 times is like we might have moved more. I
Yeah.
don't know. The first time I went to a school a full year, I was in 8th grade.
hmm
Not yeah, 8th grade. 8th grade. It was kind of
So,
crazy.
are you one of three kids?
One of four.
One of four.
Yeah.
What rank are you in the thing?
I'm the best one.
Are you the oldest or the
No,
young?
come on. I said I'm the best.
You're the baby one.
Come on. Yeah,
There
of
you
course,
go.
of
There you
course.
go. I was trying to make sure I didn't do not do justice to your siblings.
No,
So
nobody wants to be the older sibling.
yeah, I know.
Nobody wants to be the middle.
So we're gonna talk about your family business because it kind of intrigued me here. So out of all the places you've been, you're in Memphis, but Portland, you're born in
Yeah.
Oregon, but you consider Florida home. Is that where you spend the most time, or you had the most meaningful experiences?
So I don't necessarily consider Florida home anymore. At the time, I did because that's where I did have the most meaningful experiences as far as stand up comedy. So
So let's backtrack a little bit.
yeah.
Since you threw that in, how did that happen? How was that something that you're born always trying to make fun jokes or being the
Be
center
a
of
comedian.
the party?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
No, I wasn't a class clown, unless everybody was quiet. And then I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Time to do something.
Yeah, I'll be the one. But for the most part, I was pretty quiet. I was
Mhm.
pretty quiet. I did like, I mean, everyone likes making people laugh. I mean, it feels
Yeah,
amazing.
yes, yeah.
So I never thought I was funny enough to be a comedian. I thought was funny enough to be on a sitcom though, and I know that comedians, they star in sitcoms. So
Mhm.
I was like, I'll do stand up just to be in a sitcom. I never wanted to be a stand up comedian. Really, I just was a
So
fan.
that actually your goal was to be in a sitcom?
Yeah, I
not
just
to
wanted
a
to be
comedian?
on like in movies and TV shows and stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Like
So at 16 you had your first stand up? Is that correct?
at technically 16, yeah, it was the first time I performed, but it was in like a living room. Like, I was writing jokes at like 16. 17, I went on stage outside my living room. I went and performed at the University of Memphis. And it was 2 weeks before I turned 18. And
How was that experience? First timer.
I got booed,
You got booed?
I didn't notice till I looked back on the tape. But I did a joke about, okay, as a comedian, if you're going to make fun of a certain group, you have to like uplift them. You can't just like punch down at that group.
I
Right.
got you. That's
Or
good strategy.
Yeah, or you have to be a part of that group.
hmm
So I made a joke about heavier people, and I'm not heavy, and so I got booed by a heavy person.
Oh, I
So-
got you. But it was not the entire crowd,
no. It was just one person. On
one
the side.
person. Okay.
And it didn't. I mean, they laughed twice during 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
At least you got two.
Yeah, I got two. It was
Two
enough.
moments.
I got that first laugh, and I was like,
Whoa, something's happening.
What's this right here? What's this power? It feels good, man. Like making one person laugh is fun, but when you make a group of people laugh is
Yeah.
euphoric.
So it's interesting because I've seen documentaries on Chappelle and Joe Rogan, of course. I have some that I tend to have more of an interest or appreciation type of jokes, how much they ring, resonate with me. But it's literally a craft that involves a lot of writing and a lot of observation skills because you literally pick everything daily, or it could be something you read or watch, or you can borrow some inspiration from somebody else. How do you feed your creative, uh, skill set in order to write and create and organize your jokes the way you do it?
Well, I try to write every morning, right? I try to write every morning.
So,
like,
so doesn't matter what.
doesn't matter. I'm journaling. I'm just talking about my day, how I'm feeling, and a lot of my jokes come from my perspective of just my life. I'm not, like Dave Chappelle. He kind of speaks like, "Hey, this is what's going on in the world, and this is what I feel." And you got some people that do observational humor, some political humor. Some people do, slapstick. I mean, one-liners. You have all these different styles, but for me, I'm just like, what do I think is funny? I'll say what I think is funny, and if hopefully someone else laughs at it, and that's
Mhm.
my crowd.
Right. So give me a bit of a feedback on 16 or 17, you're outside your living room, University of Memphis. And then for that point on, I know that your first hit was your runner up on American Got Talent. And I'm here, why in the world? You went all the way up to the end. I want to ask how you felt. You're almost there, but you still got a lot out of it, and he literally launched you,
Yeah.
you know? So, and a lot of times when I watch shows like that, what people don't realize, they see the glamour and the glitz from, the curtains open and the person already on the stage. But then when they see their stories behind the scenes, how much, they had to go through and build it up to that point. Because just to be in a contest like that, you got to go through the entry door, right? And then by doing that, and then on top of that, going all the way to the end and make the judges, all score for you. I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. So I'd like to because I consider that parallel to a jiu-jitsu competition, let's say for the world championships, and
Yeah.
just how do you prepare when you look back, what led you to succeed and what was the experience altogether?
I mean, it was pretty incredible. I mean, when I first got on America's Got Talent, which was the biggest thing that
How much did you have going on before then, though?
I mean, I did a few things. I was in the finals of a competition called Big Sky Comedy Festival. I won the Seattle International Comedy Competition. There was a bunch of things I did that didn't matter. It was at the time I was like, look, I did this, I did this. Like when I did the Seattle International Comedy Competition, that's when I got my first manager because they got eyes on me because they're like, oh, people that won that in the past were like, Dane Cook or Louis C.K., like really very funny and established comedians. Now, I mean, you know, um, Louis C.K.'s a little bit, but he's funny.
Yeah.
But I did those things before, which were, pretty cool at the time. But then as soon as I did America's Got Talent, it's like no one cared about that because they're like, you did this thing, which is I didn't know how big it was.
Mm.
I thought it was decent. I never watched America's Got Talent. I would see clips, and when I got on
Who
it,
suggested you to do that? How did you
well,
even have the idea?
it was producers reach out and they're like, hey, they look for comedians, they look for magicians,
So
they
you
look
had an
for singers.
invitation?
Yeah, so they hit me up and they asked me to audition, and there's like a different class. So you have the people that wait in line, then you have a people that they push you in like this fast pass line.
Mm.
It's still a long line. You're still gonna be there for some hours, but it's not. You're not hours. You know what I mean? Like
It's like
so.
Disneyland when you have the fast
Yeah,
pass
yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah,
regular
yeah,
pass
yeah,
and the VIP pass.
yeah. Exactly.
You
Yeah.
want to get at least the fast
At
pass,
least
right?
fast pass. Yeah.
You're gonna not cooking under the sun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So they were cooking. They were
yeah,
cooking.
I got you.
But
So you got some leverage,
yeah.
right?
So I got a little bit. So I auditioned in front of other producers. You audition. You can do multiple auditions. You got to send stuff in. Then you audition in person, and then if everyone says yes, then you can audition in front of Simon and all. It's not
Yeah.
just go in front of
Is
him.
he as terrifying as people say that
Simon.
he is? Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I never thought Simon was mean. I
Uh,
just thought it was honest.
yeah.
Right?
Straightforward, right?
Yeah, I thought he was honest. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he would be like, that sucks, and I'm like, and it
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
suck. Like
Yeah.
that kind of sucks, man. So
So you gain his favor, huh?
yeah, he liked me. I was kind of nervous. Um, Matter of fact, the two times I was most nervous ever in my career was the first time I went on stage. Before the first time I went on stage, and before I went on America's Got Talent, I was like terrified, and that's why I did this silly walk when I went out to do my first performance. But yeah, everyone thought it was funny.
So you have rituals to calm you down or when you are like with the
Yeah,
butterflies?
I mean, I like shadow box or something, and I didn't even know I didn't even know how to shadow box. Then it was
Yeah.
bad.
Hey,
I was like doing handstands, push ups.
keep your body moving.
Yeah, yeah.
So what was life like after? So what happened on the day on the finals? American Got Talent. Because I'm telling you from a learning perspective, I didn't watch the show, but I'm captivated by the experience in itself. Because I know we can talk about everything else, but that was a defining moment right there. Because from that show, whatever happened from then on, you are definitely on the map.
Yeah.
So give me that perspective. We are in the moment right there. You're leading up to the finals. What did you feel before? Did you feel like once everything was said and done that you take the first place, or what was the experience like as it was with the results of you running, as a runner up all the way to the end?
Well, it's crazy because people think I got like second place. Everyone thinks I got second.
Hmm.
And then what happened was I was just beefing with the winner. It's like a Tupac versus Biggie thing, because
Mm.
no one considered Biggie to be the greatest rapper of all time
Yeah,
until he started beefing with Tupac, and it kind of rose his stock a little bit. And now everyone's
got you.
like, yeah, Biggie's the best, which I think the greatest rapper of all time argument is silly,
Yes.
But I got like, I didn't expect to get to the finals. I was like, if I can get on the first episode, then that'd be great because then I can headline these bowling alleys.
Hmm.
I've been, I've been featuring a lot at these bowling alleys and these random spots in the back of a casino. And if I can try to headline instead of opening up for the headliner, that'd be great. Then I got on there and I got to the second round. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's great. That guy. I mean, I know I'm not gonna get to the finals. I mean, to the
Wow.
live shows. And I was like, oh, I got to the live shows. That's crazy.
So you have an upgrade.
Yeah,
The further you go, if I'm
Yeah.
on second episode,
yeah,
no bowling alley. I'm going to the back of the casino.
Yeah.
Third episode,
yeah,
hey, now I'm gonna be opening the co-main event.
yeah.
Hey, I
So,
like
yeah.
that.
So I got to the semis and I got to the finals. And the first episode, I knew my life changed because all I did, I wanted to headline the bowling alley. And I booked my first theater tour. My theater off of just the first
How
episode.
far back was that? I know it's
2017.
2017. Okay.
Yeah, so I remember someone my agent hit me up and they're like, hey, they want to, in Oklahoma, I think it's Oklahoma.
Mhm.
They wanted me to do a theater. And it was like a 700 seater. And I was like, for people to see me, like I thought it was crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You think 700 people got babysitters and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like got like requests off of work or it's pretty crazy. But that was the first episode. I thought that was kind of crazy. And then I got to the finals and man, I mean, it was kind of like, yeah, my life changed for sure. It was wild.
What was I think your family, I always compare it to like an NFL draft.
Yeah.
You're there, you're watching the finals, you have all your parent and your kids,
Yeah.
I mean your siblings, and I'm sure that it's pre-recorded, right? It's not a live event, so
Oh, the results are live.
the results are
The
live.
results are live. And my
Oh, okay.
family was there. My family was there to
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
me lose. And they were there.
No, technically you didn't lose.
Technically, I
You
didn't
know what I'm
lose.
saying?
That's true.
Because I've seen a lot of guys who are running ups who actually their careers
Yeah.
catapulted much further. I don't follow up with the person who won,
Yeah.
but definitely you made the best of what you got there. So once American Got Talent was done, how was your life then in terms of a profession? There's no back alley bowling anymore. You're just going for the bigger 700 seat. And when did you feel you got, man, I got it made. This is really, I'm going to make it. When did you have that feeling?
It's weird, right? So I remember like, I just toured and everything I ever did was sold out. Every comedy club was sold out. Any theater I did was sold out. Everything was sold out. And that was for like years. And then, you had drop offs and then you come back, and then you drop off and come back, So, but I remember doing a European tour. Even this is like 2021. I did a European tour and most of those shows were sold out. And then I remember someone telling me, and these are theaters, they're not comedy clubs. And I remember someone come to me after the show. They're like, I can't wait for you to make it, man. You're really gonna I was like, this is making it for me, man. I was
So-
like, I've never been to this country. And it's sold out. I didn't know y'all knew me, so
Yeah, that's
I
amazing.
think everyone has a different definition of making it.
Mhm.
The finish line is always moving, right? So
Yeah.
you always want to be better. But I just want to improve 1% every day. I
Yep.
seen that poster in the gym.
Yep.
1% every day. I want to get better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think based upon what I see you on the match, because people have different perspectives of you, you're pretty grounded. And a lot of times I think when somebody like you experience a degree of notoriety by winning something like American Got Talent in the final runner-up position, it can get up to their heads and then they kind of lose their cool or lose their focus
yeah.
and think that they already got it while you're already not even sure if you made it. That's amazing. So you still got other events that you participated. You got American Got Talent again, and then you got Britain Got Talent,
Yeah.
and you accomplished, from what I hear, quite a few feats. You are the champions
Yeah,
in
yeah. So they
2019.
had I was on Got Talent in 2017, and they brought me back for Champions in 2019 and Britain's Talent Champions. I hosted World's Most Amazing Dog with George Lopez and Lisa Vanderpump. I had a
So
really
you got
cool.
all kind of gigs, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I got my first sitcom in 2020 called Connecting. Remember that? Remember that show that no one watched, so they canceled it. Remember that? And yeah, I got a couple of cool things. Performed in arenas, and uh, I don't know about plural arenas, but I performed in an arena,
Mhm.
and like yeah, I got to travel the world, and I performed in every state of America, including Alaska, North Dakota.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
You've
North
been
Dakota, South
around, huh?
Dakota. I've been to every state in America,
Every state?
every single state, and it's different.
That's a feat in itself.
Yeah, I know it's cool. It's
Holy
cool.
crap.
Yeah,
So when you go for these trips, people sometimes have this romantic idea. Oh, you have time to sightsee. Look at him; he's jet setting, living the lifestyle. They don't realize the amount of pressure and work, your tight schedule. You got
yeah,
to keep your script fresh. You got to keep focus on what's going on. All the pre-show that takes place before the curtains open.
yeah,
A lot of times, people have no idea, right? They think
yeah,
that you're just kind of cruising along.
yeah. I think that because my job is like it's unbelievably. It's just the best job. I cannot. I mean, I feel really blessed to be in my position, and I feel lucky to be in my position. I do feel like there's. I do think I worked hard, but I do think there's some luck in there for me to be where I'm at.
Hmm.
And so I think that people see that and they're like, "Wow, you're doing your dream. Everything is like perfect and stuff." And it's like, nah, everything. Everyone has their like struggles. Like I don't like. I travel every weekend, so I'm on a plane every weekend.
Hmm.
I don't like going on planes.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I don't like going on. Who likes going on planes?
Yeah.
I don't like waking up early to go into TSA, whatever. So it's like I have to do all these things that I might not necessarily like to do what I love.
Hmm.
So and I do, it's a little exhausting, but let's be honest. If you're an adult, we're all tired.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I don't think you can escape that. So I do think that, everything has its ups and downs, but overall, I mean, it's pretty sick.
So I'm intrigued with something else that I learned about how you do things. You work with your family.
Yes.
How did that come about, and what precipitated that, and what was your career in the beginning? If it was not always the case, you came along in the process, or who came with the idea?
Yeah, so my brother Justin, he's like the funny one in the family. He was always the funniest one in the family. I was just the most loudest, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but he started comedy essentially with me, maybe like a year and a half after I started.
Hmm.
Excuse me. And so me and my brother always did stand up together. And my mom, once I started making enough money, I just retired her. So I was like, I don't want you to have to work anymore. So I would just give her like a weekly salary. And
That's awesome.
and then,
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. I feel lucky to do that. And so, then she asked me, she was like, "Hey, can I go on the road with you? I can sell merchandise and I can do that and I can do this." So she would sell merchandise for me on the road. And one day I was on stage acting crazy, ripped my pants, and I had some extra pants. My mom brought it to me, and she goes, "Go change." And so while I was changing backstage, she went on stage and started roasting me, and people were cracking up. And then I was like, "Oh, maybe she can open." So she just started doing stand up. So my mom goes up and she performs. Then my brother Justin performs, and I perform, and then we have just his family from the show. So yeah,
Wow.
it's really cool.
So it was a happenstance. You
Yeah,
didn't plan it.
I didn't plan it.
You ripped your pants, and that's what
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Rip my
know.
pants. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. So now from then on, no matter where you go, it's always everybody's going along, and
Yeah,
you have your
yeah.
numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that this year, and hopefully next year, they're on their own tour.
Oh,
That's
so you're helping build
Yeah,
them up.
I want them to be on their own tour.
Your mom too?
Yeah, I want my mom and my brother to tour together, and then I'll be with myself. But I want, that's gonna not be as fun to not have my mom because she's a momager. You know what I mean? She like
Yeah,
does
yes.
a lot of the
Make sure
things.
you're behaving and doing okay.
Yeah, she makes sure I'm behaving because I'm not gonna be crazy around my mom. Make sure my food's there, and she makes there like everything is set. But I think it'd be really cool at some point for all of us to have our own separate tours.
Yes.
I'm touring, my brother's touring, my mom's touring, but so that's the goal. So I think in order for that to happen, she has to feature. She has to do the middle spot. She's doing the host because the host does like 5 to 10, feature does 15, 25, and the headliner does 45, 30, 45 to an hour.
Mhm.
So she's at the host. She's moving up to the feature, and I wanted to
You're
feature
upgrading her to the full position.
headline. Yeah,
That's amazing.
there we go.
Now, are you here in Dallas or
Yeah.
and your family? They're in different areas.
Yeah, my brother's in Los Angeles and my mom's in Atlanta.
Okay, so you guys coordinate and meet up whatever you need
Yeah,
to.
we just meet up same place.
Yeah. Man, I hate that I missed you in Tempe,
Oh, yeah, it's all
Arizona.
good. It's
How
all good.
was it, by the way?
It was really
Yeah,
good.
nice venue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's the first place I ever headlined.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
First one?
It was the
You should have
first.
told me that, man. I would
It's-
cancel my stuff.
Nah, yeah, right.
Yeah, I trust you. You know, it was amazing.
No, it was good. It
That's
was good.
awesome.
It was good.
And like you said, it was not the first time in Arizona, I assume.
No, it was. I've been there. I've been to that club at least 5 times.
Hmm,
At least.
okay.
I think I've been more, but 5 times for sure.
So, what comedians have made the most influence upon you? Because I'll tell you something I saw that really hit me. I saw a show called Iconoclast, and Dave Chappelle was with Maya Angelou while she was still alive, and they were interacting. And although she was a philosopher and very prolific writer and influencer. She was as funny as he could be
Oh, really?
on her natural element. And Chappelle acted like he was like a little young man trying to make sure he didn't misbehave because she was such a figure next to him. It was very inspiring to me.
Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna send you the copy. It's,
Yeah.
it's an old show that it's expired, but Robert Redford used to organize that, and they would have different personalities in duos. They had one with Robert Redford and not Steve McKean, Paul Newman in one. They work together in old westerns and movies. But this particular, and the reason I'm just bringing this up, I see a lot of comedians that have different, Cat Williams, you have guys on the fringe. You have Joe Rogan, he's a podcaster, he's a comedian. He has the club in Austin. How is the comedy scene for you? And which guys do you look up to or that you feel have caused an influence upon you?
I don't know. It's so many comedians that have caused influence on me, and it's really hard to even name all those people. Uh,
If you were to say one at least.
if I had to say, I mean, I could say a bunch. I mean, Arnez J
Mhm.
was a big influence. Bruce, a lot of people off of Comic View. There was Dane Cook, Eddie Murphy, Brian Regan,
Mhm.
Kevin Hart. I loved Jay. There's a comedian named JJ. I mean, I don't know. There's just so many. There's
Mhm.
so many. I mean, Jim
Yeah.
Carrey, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't even pick. There's a guy named Michael McDonald that was off of Mad TV.
I
That
remember
guy
him.
was he was so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so it's like to pick. It's weird because I don't have a favorite anything.
Mhm.
Like, I don't have a favorite comedian. I don't have a favorite food. I don't have a favorite. I just like. I'm really undecisive, you know. Um, but I like a bunch of things because
Mhm.
I'm okay with like I don't know. There's so many even now. There's so many comedians.
Mhm.
There's a comedian named K Dub that no one he's not mainstream. People don't know who this is,
Mm.
and he's so. I mean,
Yeah, you got to look it up later, and I want to
yeah,
catch up with
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
But that guy is so funny. But like he's not like people don't know who he is. Ken Miller. There's a guy named Ken Miller. Akeem Woods. I mean, there's.
Yeah. One thing that people, and I want to ask you this because,
Can I ask you?
yeah,
a
go ahead.
question? Okay, because I know because you're like a legend, right? Like I go to other gyms and I tell people that I train at your gym, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's cool that you train at him. He's blah blah blah," and I'm like, "No, he's there." They're like, "What? He's training you?" Like it's crazy, right? Anytime I go out of town, so um, who are like, who is it? That's the same question I have for you. Like, who
Okay.
is like an influence for you? Because you
Okay.
started pretty much when it was
Sure.
blowing
So
up.
in terms of mentorship, late Grandmaster Carlos Gracie Sr. was a real life guru. He's the guy that literally, mentally, spiritually has been my greatest influence. When you watch like kung fu movies with the old master, blind in the monastery, he was that kind of guy. And he's the guy that instilled in me the lifestyle of jujitsu. Eat right, stay healthy, stay focused, exercise, and be humble. Train smart, stay humble. Comes from leave your ego at the door. So all the stuff that first time I came to America, the last words I heard from him alive was exactly this. Last time I saw him before I left Brazil was, remember, be humble when you get to America. That's the last thing. I mean, I would hear from him since then, but there was the last time. It took me 4 years, uh, 6 years until I came back to Brazil for the first time after I came to America, and he died 4 years later. But anyhow, in terms of influence, Rickson Gracie was like the samurai. He was his discipline is unequal. Like we would go to the beach to have fun and hang out. He would walk 10 kilometers, 7 miles back and forth, just kind of fast walk like those marathon runners. He was always busy taking care of his body. He had a ponytail, so he had the samurai, Japanese anime characters. He was literally a hero. And in terms of fighting spirit, still part of my family, Halls Gracie. Halls Gracie, people didn't get to know him because he died too young. He was 32,
Oh,
died of
man.
a hand gliding accident.
Hang gliding.
Yeah, hang gliding. Yeah, and he was the first in the family to do boxing, wrestling. He was a very accomplished black belt in judo. He did a lot of no-gi, so he's well versed. He was on the cusp of opening a mixed martial arts center in Brazil right before his death. The foreplan was ready. He was ahead of his time. Several years before the UFC ever came to be.
Wow.
Before any of us was ever in
I
America.
mean, imagine if he did.
Yes, yeah. So he was traveling all over the world, competing against Russians. He came to America, competed against American wrestlers, did sambo wrestling, went to Cuba and competed against everybody. So that guy right there, he was fearless. And he had fast motorcycles. He surfed big waves. He was a guy like an adrenaline junk, so to speak. And that, unfortunately, looking back, that was his demise,
Nice, yeah.
But in terms of he was like a lion, So I have Hickson, the samurai, I have Halls, the warrior, and I have Carlos Gracie, the sage. So those three right there literally gave me a trunk.
That's
You
like
know,
brilliant how you
yeah. So
describe that.
so
I'm
I
still
never deviated from the philosophical aspect of the martial arts because it's based upon character and spirituality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not like we are at war with other people. We're always at war with ourselves. When you read the Art of War, the first thing that is said is conquer yourself before you conquer your enemies. Otherwise, you're going to always have mixed results. And
does that mean as far as like discipline?
say again?
When you said conquer yourself before you
Yeah,
conquer.
conquer yourself because the world is a mirror of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you introspect to really figure out, okay, is the person in the mirror is the real measure. I cannot be better than my brother Higan. He's bigger than me. He knows as much or more than me in jiu-jitsu. But I can be the best I can and make his life difficult
Yeah.
if this is all I can accomplish. You know what I'm saying? So it gives you a different sense of reality. You know what I'm saying? So you don't outpace yourself. You try to make yourself not complacent uh, and not comfortable. You got to always know that there's a measure yet for you to reach. But anyhow, I'm
The
kind of
world is a mirror
extrapolating here.
of
We're
you.
we're
I mean,
building
yeah.
into a thing. Since you brought martial arts, I do feel though the care that you have for your body. We're gonna talk about your vegan lifestyle because I was an ovo-lacto vegetarian before I came to Texas,
Really?
and I always joke about that. once you go to Texas, if you don't buy a gun, get cowboy boots and eat a steak, they kick
And a
you out.
truck.
They kick you out of steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the truck.
You have the truck,
Now I
yeah,
got
yeah.
the truck. I got and when you get a truck, you don't go back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I drive a smaller car, I feel, man, it's unsafe, so to speak, right? But anyhow, what happens on the mat should go with you wherever you go. It's not like, so that's why I believe on the mat and off the mat, if you accomplish balance, if you have a good workout, if you feel you're growing, that endorphin state that builds up within you through your activity carries it on. For a lot of people, it's a therapeutical thing. Like, I don't blame you for working out all the time, because one is healthy, it's going to keep you young, it keeps you in shape, your appearance is great, but I think it keeps you young at heart, because your body's moving. Like, you do shadow boxing before you debut in a big stage. Anthony Robbins jumping on the trampoline for like 20 minutes before he walks on stage.
Yeah.
And when he does his, I guess, camps or whatever, he walks in a stage more than people run in a marathon in a single weekend, right? But these are the shakers and movers. So, and I'm not trying to take, I'm here to learn more about you. So I'm going to bounce right back at you here.
No, but I appreciate that.
Yeah. So
I like
you kind of touched on a point, because sometimes I don't think enough about it, but I think it helps you be faithful to who you truly are when you have a strong influence that even when they are no longer in your life, they're still with you in spirit.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, uh, even if my uncle's no longer alive, I'm not saying I don't do things that he wouldn't be in agreement with because I would displease him. Like, for instance, eating sugar. When I used to live in his household while I was going to college for almost 4 years. In my early 20s, and if I ate sugar and he knew about it, he would cuss at me. He would scold me.
For
Say
eating
all
sugar.
kind of, sugar, because of the Gracie diet. You only eat fresh stuff. You can eat
So it's like whole foods.
Yeah, whole fruits, but you don't eat sugar. Nothing artificial, nothing processed.
What about processed food? Like maybe no pasta?
Uh, he would go for sweet potatoes and sometimes
So-
rice.
Okay, so like
Yeah, he didn't like bread. He was
I'm
not.
doing that right now where I'm
Yeah.
doing a no processed food.
Yeah.
And I feel fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel really good.
You have no idea how much crap you put in your body without knowing,
I
right?
know. It's crazy.
So, you talked that it's really, you have such a variety of people that you can look up to, these professionals, but in the lifestyle that you have, you take care of yourself. But a lot of people do not emulate your example. They kind of let it go. They try. They go for these shows. They drink. They party. They do everything. They don't exercise. So how critical it is for you, this balancing act that you have? Because when you're in town, I see you at the gym at least 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see you twice a day.
Yeah.
I'd like to tell me a little bit about that.
Well, first off, I just love it, right? I love it, but I do feel like I love what Will Smith said. He said discipline is the highest form of self-love. So with jujitsu, um, I want to just upgrade. I wanted that blue belt. Now I want my purple belt. I want my purple belt. So I'm like,
You're hungry.
yeah, I'm really hungry. I really want, because I feel like I've lost so much. I lost so much time just not taking jujitsu as seriously.
You want to catch up.
I want to catch up. Yeah, I want to catch up, and so I just want to learn. And I feel like I've never liked jujitsu like this. I feel like I'm in a flow state where I'm learning so much and I'm having fun.
Yep.
And it's a great workout. I'm just like, I haven't been going to the gym as much. I still work out. I got a kettlebell at the house, and I mess with that sometimes, but it's just such a good workout. And as far as like drinking and all that stuff, I mean, I started drinking in 2020. I used to never drink ever, and I'm away from that now. But I've always had this idea, like anything that makes you feel good immediately, like cheating, like anything that's cheating, then like drinking and make you feel good right then
Yeah.
is usually bad for you long term. Anything that makes you feel good right then is bad. But anything that you kind of got to suffer. Like sometimes I'll be in jujitsu, someone's on top of me, and I'm like, why am I doing this? But then afterwards, I'm like, this is good.
It's worth the price.
It's worth the it's worth the price. There's a reason salads don't taste like ice cream.
Yeah.
So
That's a good one.
yeah. So I just noticed that when I prolong um, you know dopamine, I feel better. So I just I treat myself like I would want someone to treat me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then jujitsu honestly it keeps me on schedule.
Yeah.
So I schedule
So-
everything around jujitsu.
It's funny you mentioned something here. I want to reiterate for the listeners. Um, a lot of students of mine, I have people that come from all shapes and sizes and backgrounds, right? And many of them have a history, whether it's drinking, recreational drugs, or bad habits, being out of shape, or whatever. And it's kind of like a scale,
Yeah.
And literally the intriguing part of jujitsu, which is not just the physical, it's a chess game.
Yeah.
If you're going there and just mechanical, it's the same thing as going to the gym and lifting weights.
Yeah.
It becomes repetitive, mechanical. It gets boring.
It gets boring.
It's not so, but jujitsu, you always have to assess, evaluate. You got to engage your brain, not just your body, right?
Yeah.
And for a lot of the students of mine, and I'm not saying it's your case, by the way, but since you mentioned the drinking part, I always believe is by adding more on the side of health and motivating people. They want to perform better in jujitsu. So any bad habits or things they are
Yeah.
doing now, they're counterproductive to that goal.
Yeah.
They start to slowly reduce and eventually eliminate.
Yeah.
So the scale starts to offset to the positive side.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people say cold turkey, cut short, or this and that. No, add activities that are going to enhance
Yeah.
your motivation to do more for the good than for the bad.
Yeah.
And eventually it will even out and
That's a lot of times when I'm in my best shape, I don't want to ruin my shape. I don't want to eat bad. I don't want to, there's a bunch of people at your gym that I've spoken to and they were like, I lost 40 pounds. I lost this amount of weight because, when you're constantly in shape and you want to do better. And in order to do better, you got to eliminate these
yeah,
bad
it's a
habits.
worthy price to pay,
Yeah.
like you said.
Yeah.
And okay, so the vegan part, like I was telling back, I eventually phased out of the ovo lacto vegetarian lifestyle that I had,
Yeah.
which was what I inherited from my uncle. And I started to eat meat and then research more recently proponents of the carnivore diet. And sorry that I'm bringing that up.
No, it's
I'm not
fine. It's
trying
fine.
to convert you, by the way.
Yeah,
But so
imagine if it did.
Sean Baker and Paul Saladino,
Yeah.
Ken Berry, these are all notables that
Yeah.
kind of talk about their lifestyle. And there's a whole community that I like to, I don't take things at face value. I actually did have direct consultations with Sean Baker. I did try to the protocols and had incredible results. And I'm not saying that they will be the same for everybody. For the most part, for the people that had access to, the story has been the same. They had the good experience, But I'm not discrediting or disregarding the other side. And vegetarian, it can always be flexible. You don't eat meat, but you can eat some animal products here and there. But you went
No animals.
all out,
Yeah.
no animal products
Yeah.
whatsoever. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, usually the people that I hear doing that, there are usually two reasons. Of course, health concerns is one of them, and more the spiritual concern. You don't want to have anything killed in your system.
Yeah.
And thirdly, maybe a planetary concern. You feel it's better for the environment. I don't buy much between, I don't want to sound controversial, climate crisis or anything like that, but I understand that some people might have their opinions in that regard. So I'd like you to give me somewhat of the perspective. And I did have a conversation to talk to you. You have a relative that had some health issues,
yeah.
and the vegan diet has been instrumental for their, recovery.
Okay, so yeah, I've been no and you can I don't want anyone thinking I'm offended by carnivore diet. I think whatever anyone wants to do, I think that's
Let me tell you though, if it's the other way around, if you're a vegan that turns carnivore, the vegans
that's
will go
different.
after you.
That's different because
Yeah.
you're on the side. I mean, you don't even have to be a carnivore. If you're a vegan that becomes an omnivore, people, they get a little upset because the vegan community is so small and they're so passionate, you know, that they just feel like betrayed. But I think if you're a vegan and you go whatever you want to do with your life, I think it's your life. Ultimately, it's your choice, and it's fine. But I stopped eating meat 8 years ago, and was it 8 9 years ago? Wow,
Mm.
I forgot 2016.
Man.
Yeah, so
You know
9 years
why?
ago.
Because you haven't been at the Brazilian barbecue place.
Oh man,
There's one down the road called
Yeah.
Fogo de Chão. I tell you what, even if you don't eat meat, the salad bar is worth trying.
no, I hate salad. But isn't that crazy?
Well, they have
treat
some veggies,
people
man.
treat vegans like they treat like gay people. Like if like like if you're or it just okay, like when I was 13, this is not gay people, this is black people. When I was like 13, I was at this school called Clear Creek Middle in Portland, Oregon, and I was the only black kid. And then there was a black girl that came in to the school and they were like, yo, and I'm like, that's not my type. You know what I mean? Like just because she's black. When people do it with vegans, they're like, oh, you're a vegan? I know where some bushes are at. I know where some bark dust and leaves, you know. But no, I hate salad, man. I'll eat it. I don't hate salad, but I'll
Man,
eat it.
I tell you, if
I-
we were to eat grass, we'd be hanging out with the cows, man. Come on. Gee.
So I stopped. I just did it because, you know, I just was trying it out. I was like, let's see what happens. I tried it out and I felt good. I felt good. The first couple weeks I didn't feel good. I was like, I don't know. I was gonna try it for a month, but I was like, this is kind of stupid, man. I feel lightheaded, but I was eating like fries and cheese pizza. You know, I was eating
You eat junk food?
junk food.
There was you know, vegetarian but junky. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people think like when you're a vegan or vegetarian, it's immediately healthy, and it's like that's not true. I think look, it's gonna be healthier because you have to eliminate so many options. But Oreos are vegan, Skittles are vegan. You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that are vegan
Yeah.
that's not healthy. But I wasn't eating right, and then I just tried it out, and I was like, oh, it's pretty cool. So I was a vegetarian for like a year. And then I was like, I'll try out being a vegan. And I tried it out and I felt really good. Yeah, it felt good. I felt like really like I just felt good. And I always thought I'd go back. Then I seen a documentary called Earthlings on YouTube, and it was crazy. And then
It's kind of like a game changer
Yeah.
all about vegans and vegetarians.
yeah, I get. Well, it wasn't like Game Changers, because Game Changers is like more so for like health, right?
Yeah.
And I I already felt good, but I felt bad. Like I didn't want to eat anything dead, unless it's plants.
Right.
I'll kill plants all day. But
They still suffer.
you said they you
still
know what?
suffer.
They don't feel pain.
The carrots, when you pull them out, they kind of have a
you're
tear
definitely
here and
killing them. But you
Yeah.
know. So but I just didn't want to hurt. I just didn't want to hurt anybody. I'm not a huge fan of animals. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like, like I remember talking to another vegan woman and she was crying because she was talking about how people are killing chickens and stuff. And I'm not gonna cry about
Yeah.
chickens dying, but
Yeah.
I just if I don't have to, I'm just not gonna do that. And I feel good.
Yeah.
So I did that for a little bit, and then I just haven't stopped. I just like it. I
Yeah.
like the
It's funny you mentioned that. When I became a vegetarian, I watched a show you probably have seen. It was on VHS at the time called Faces of Death.
face of death.
And I guess they still have it on YouTube. It shows like real life people getting killed, animals getting slaughtered, whatever. Literally, if you go and put Faces of Death, you're gonna see real life people being publicly executed, whatever. All the crazy stuff that you see nowadays on Instagram and YouTube. If it happens to be on your feed, back then it was like compiled in a single VHS cassette. And one of the scenes was a chicken running with the head cut off.
Yeah,
When I saw that, I said, you know what? I'm done with this.
yeah.
And for 12 years, I didn't eat any meat.
Oh, that's pretty
You
good.
know, yeah, I was
And then you
just,
went back.
I had eggs
Yeah,
and stuff. But coming to America, one thing I started to read about Native American mythology,
yeah,
how they revere the buffalo. Back in the old days when they had to kill the buffalo, fed their bodies,
yeah,
their fur, kept them warm in the winter. And when they died, they would burn themselves and return the dust back to nature.
Yeah.
So kind of had that cycle.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had to, certain way, try to convince
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
that so I figured, no, I'm not ready yet at this stage of my evolution to relinquish of this, so, and that's what made me be okay with going back to animal products, which I still had, like I said, eggs and dairy, but I started to consuming meat, and then now I'm more focused on the keto carnivore kind
Yeah.
of lifestyle.
Yeah, I
you know
think back when they used to, Native Americans used to kill the buffalo for like,
they
um,
only what they needed, and
yeah, only what they
they
need. I
never
think that's
did.
totally fine. I think,
Yeah, yeah.
like, people always ask, like, what about a lion? What about you gonna stop a lion from eating? It's like that's not the same. Like
Mhm.
lions also,
Yeah.
when they see a cub and their mom, I'm
Mhm.
not even gonna explain what happens,
Yeah,
but it's kind of crazy, man.
I know.
But yeah, I think I just feel physically better. And I when I go to the doctor, all my blood work is great.
That's
So,
great, man. That's great.
but if it wasn't, then I wouldn't be.
Yeah, you gotta keep as it is.
Yeah.
So, you said your daily routine usually involves writing in the morning, your personal journal, and then your comedy pieces, your anecdotes and stuff. You have your martial arts training, you have your lifestyle, and then you have your trips. What do you do? I know you have fun doing martial arts, but is there
Yeah.
anything other than that,
That's my
hobby-wise, that
fun.
you do? Yeah,
That's my
I don't
fun.
blame you. I
That's
don't
my
blame you.
yeah. That's my
It's
break.
my work and it's
Yeah.
my love,
Yeah. Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
When I drive to the academy
Yeah.
to teach, I pinch myself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said, I can't believe I do this for a living.
Yeah.
Because I could be tired, I could be wasted like from a long weekend.
Yeah.
But just the fact I'm gonna step on the mats and share some with my students and be there
Yeah.
interacting with them, it's so motivating. I can explain
Yeah.
to you. I should be paying my students.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I should kind of put some money on your bank, man.
Yeah, I
'Cause
know that
you are
sounds so
making me happier.
yeah.
You
That's
know?
that's I get more excited to do jujitsu than I get to perform on stage. Obviously, if you were like you only get to do jujitsu or you only get to perform, I'm choosing stand up all day.
Of course.
But that's because jujitsu for me is new. I've been stand up for 16 years.
Yeah.
So I already know what's coming. I don't get nervous.
Hmm.
When I go into the gym, especially if I see someone new, I like feel like
Yeah.
kind of thing, butterflies or whatever. Like I get excited to go. I get taught a new move. I'm like, I can't wait to try this move out. So I just love that's my break is
Yeah.
me doing jujitsu. I don't really have much time for anything else. I'm pretty like packed. As soon as I wake up, I do like
Yeah.
some mobility stretching
Yeah.
and I do a quick little workout. Excuse me, with my kettlebell, and after that, I go down, I clean up, and then I go right. After I meditate, I try to go right, and then fill my day out, and then I start doing my day, and then towards the end of my day is jujitsu. So I do jujitsu. After that, I immediately go to the sauna. After this, and I stretch in the sauna. I'm trying to stretch more, and then I go and I either watch a game while I'm cooking my last meal, and then I figure out I write all the things I want to do before the end of the night. I mean, I write all the things I want to do the next day, and then I try to meditate or whatever, read a book, and go to sleep. I don't,
How
but
how is your calendar? Is that, I'm sure you have seasonal areas on your calendar that you have peaks, where you have way more shows and longer trip. You have abroad where you can have European tours.
yeah,
How do you manage uh keeping your routine and also relationship wise? Because I know being everywhere all the time, it's just either you take the person along with you or
yeah,
you have to it's kind of like long distance relationship, because you're never, even if you both are in the same place
yeah,
at a point in time, your work takes you everywhere,
yeah.
and you have long stretches. How is that for you?
Well, I've been single for 7 years, so
Ladies,
know.
listen to that.
I've been
Somebody's available
single.
right now.
I don't know if I'm
It's kind
been.
of like a cool guy. Yeah, hey, maybe too early to say. Yeah.
No,
You don't
no, I
know
mean,
yet. You got to vet.
we'll
You gotta
see. I
vet.
mean, I started dating some girl recently. She's not my girlfriend, but I'm talking to someone, but she lives in a different city. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just if I'm gonna date someone, it's most likely they're gonna be in a different city. It would be great if I met someone here,
That could be in
Y-
the same place.
same place. That'd be
Yeah.
fantastic. But and that's the thing. I'm not dating someone in a different city. I don't want to do that. But it's like I don't go out when I think I have to make an effort for that.
Mhm.
When I'm in, but when I'm here, I'm just kind of like recovering from traveling
Mhm.
and I'm training.
Yeah. I think too, one of the things that I'm sure happens in your environment, you're surrounded by all kind of people, and some will come to you genuinely to support you, and maybe they have a working relationship with you, and others have their personal
Yeah.
self-gain interest in this and that.
I'm sure
And
that's what you too, though,
yeah,
right?
but you as a celeb, you really have to filter that down. And I'm not saying with me, I'm happily married, and I'm not trying to portray I'm a perfect saint,
Yeah.
but I'm so happy with my wife. I'll never
Oh,
cheat
I
on
didn't mean
her.
that. Oh, I thought you were
First
talking
of all,
in general.
she'll kill me if I did anything wrong. But
Yeah.
my point is, there are people like you say. I don't blame you
Yeah.
for using Elias's names when you book a hotel, when you disguise yourself, because not only for your personal safety, but also you might have a lady
Yeah.
here and there that might be knocking at your door late
Yeah.
night at your hotel.
Yeah.
So
Hey, knock on wood, baby. No, I'm joking. No, but I meant as far as like not people trying to use you as far as like women. I meant like in general, people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
No, you're gonna have those guys who,
yeah,
once you become elevated,
yeah,
whatever
any
celebrity
kind of
status,
yeah,
financial, yeah, they will come. The vultures will come.
they'll come. But I feel like you see them.
Yeah,
I feel like you see them. It's not. I don't think. I think if. I think if I ever get caught up in a situation like that, then I deserve it because it's pretty obvious.
yeah.
It's pretty obvious when someone you can. I feel like you can talk to someone brand new for like maybe like talk to them for like 10 minutes and you can see the way they're talking or
Yeah.
what book they read.
Yeah.
Where they're trying to like.
Yeah,
So,
because people talk about the industry like
yeah,
they say, "Oh man, the industry is gonna get you."
yeah,
Once you kind of hit the so many million mark, then you're
yeah,
gonna have to sit down in the room with the big wigs and
yeah.
smoke the cigars with everybody and
Yeah, I
so
haven't seen
on.
that yet, so maybe I'm not lucky enough to get
Yeah,
there.
there you go, there you go.
But
But
yeah, yeah,
but I guess there's sharks everywhere.
yeah.
You got to keep your eyes open, like you said.
Well, they say that about Los Angeles, right? When I lived in LA for years, and
Mhm.
they say everyone, I'm sure you hear this, everyone in LA is fake, the fabricated personalities.
Hmm.
And to me, it's like it's a business, right? So when you go to LA, you go there because you're trying to be an artist. You're trying to be a producer, writer, a director, dancer, singer,
Hmm.
rapper, model. Whatever you're doing, you're trying to be something to peripherate your career in some way. So if you go to Los Angeles and you're looking for friends, then you messed up.
Yeah.
That's what no one is there. No one there is trying to look for friendship. They're trying to look how can you help me out?
Hmm.
And if you can't help, they're like, all right, that's just business. So
Yeah. I tell you what, though, martial arts changes a bit that equation because my brother Hegan knows quite a few celebs, and he spends time on the mat with them first.
yeah,
So the rapport that you develop with
Yeah.
each of those, I had the pleasure to have a Robert Kirkland here. He's now about to go to Detroit to work on Mayor Kingston.
Oh,
Amazing actor. He was in Yellowstone. Great story, by the way. And he was just he meets Hegan once a week. He has a director and producer that trains at the same time. So there's within that, the whole crazy industry, cutthroat the way it is, there's some pockets. Yeah, I think martial arts makes all the difference because at
Yeah.
least you have time to develop relationships.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
absolutely.
I feel in that regard, it's a positive jiu-jitsu
No.
and the celeb
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
There was something else that you're talking about. We talked about relationships. We talked about, but you have like in the stand-up comedy. Do you have interest in acting, modeling, or any other things, TV series? How does that atmosphere, gravitates within your
Man.
mind?
It's like I have interest in acting and movies and movies I would like to do. I think for a very long time. I mean, I did a couple I did a movie and I did a couple shows and they were just
Which
okay.
movie, if you don't mind me asking?
It's one that you never heard of. It's okay. It's a
Okay.
Christmas movie. They
All right.
put it on. It was just it doesn't matter. It's a bad
All
movie.
right.
It's a bad movie. But
I'll Google you. I'll find out.
no,
Don't
no,
worry.
no. You shouldn't do that.
Hey, can you go on? Go on Google right now. Come on.
It's a bad movie. My part was funny though. So I think that I would like to do that. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be fun just to be doing different things. I think I don't want to exhaust myself with just stand up. That's why I love jujitsu as an escape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I write. I have a movie I've written, and I've had a couple shows,
Mhm.
and I would like to shoot those. That'd be really cool. But
Hey,
I
we're gonna spread the word, right?
that'd be
I
awesome.
I participated in a movie.
Oh, did you? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
were you in a movie?
In a movie, man.
What
You know
movie?
what it's called? Bad Boys from Brazil.
For real?
It's free on YouTube.
Okay.
Now,
Bad Boys
why
from
you
Brazil?
haven't heard about it? Because it's not that great of a production. Right? But now that you know,
Yeah.
if you watch it, I believe you're gonna have some good laughs.
I'm gonna
all
watch
right?
it. Yeah, yeah.
And just one quick thing, we fired. I mean, John, my brother John was the producer.
Yeah.
You know, Jeffrey Lewis, famous actor that actually co-starred with Clint Eastwood
Yeah.
in old, cowboy movies. He was on that show. You know, but anyhow, long story short, uh, crazy stuff. We did a movie. You know, it was on Blockbuster before we had Netflix and streams. You know when Blockbuster was?
Yeah.
Did you catch that on the weekend? Let's go watch
Yeah,
videos
yeah,
and
you
stuff.
rent
It was a big deal. And I had to call somebody, say, "Hey, did you guys make a movie of this and that?" I said, "What?" So what happened? The distribution of the movie that we did got bought by somebody else. That bought from somebody else. You talk about Hollywood. They get your product, and somebody buys and sells somebody and sells somebody, and then you want to catch the dividends or the money from the sale, but whoever is the person selling has nothing to do with you anymore.
Oh,
And
wow.
basically, at that time, from what I heard, he made over $1 million.
What?
Guess how much I got out of that?
$0.
$0, right? But it's living and learning.
Man,
you
I
know?
gotta find someone's movie. And stuff.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, you check it out. You know, I'm not trying
Bad
to.
Boys of Brazil.
You guys forget that I mentioned that.
Oh, I'm
You
watching
probably people will never watch this podcast again after they watch that movie.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but that's okay. You know,
It's on YouTube right now.
it's on YouTube. It's for free. Yeah, that's how good of a movie it is. You know, but anyhow, so anything happening that you can disclose in regards to your career? Anything's coming up in the horizon that you feel is worth mentioning at this point in time?
Well, I just filmed my third special a month ago, so we're in the process of editing that, and I think it's pretty funny. So
Where's it gonna be at?
we'll see. I don't know.
You don't know
Probably-
yet?
Probably on YouTube. You
Oh
know?
no,
I don't know.
Netflix.
That'd be great, but
You
they're not
better
gonna
you
buy
better hear it.
it. They're not gonna buy it.
Yeah.
They already I know Netflix is not gonna buy it because they buy their specials ahead of time or they have contracts for it's they're not buying it. But I don't think I think it's okay. I just want people to see it, right? I don't think it's so crazy how like the stand-up entertainment industry is just like how it's changing. Like 5 years ago, that wasn't it's just crazy. Just 5 years ago, it just wasn't. It was totally different. And 10 years ago, it was different. Like there before you can get on Netflix and it will blow up, and everyone would know who you are. But if you think of Netflix and comedy specials, but if you don't name Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, right? Who name some
else?
more people?
Yeah.
Right?
Jim Gaffigan.
Jim Gaffigan he's on like Amazon.
Right.
You know, like he's on Netflix too, I'm sure. But
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
think of the main the
Right.
top
Yeah.
these guys that do arenas, you know, you're not
Right.
think of any like name a newer comedian on
Yeah.
Netflix.
I don't see it.
That's what I'm saying. So
It's hard to break.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So and I just want to add something else because Joe Rogan was talking about that how hard it is sometimes to do comedy in the environment that we have today. That some statement that you may make just for the sake of comedy can be overly offensive or for somebody more sensitive, and you have to navigate in those waters. Not trying to be politically correct, but you gotta kind of restrain yourself compared to what it was in the past when you had more spontaneity and flexibility.
Yeah.
So I don't know
I
how
don't even
that is an issue yet, or if how do you see that?
I don't even know if it's so much you gotta restrain yourself as much as it is they want you to talk like this, right? So they want you to be, and I'm not like, I've never been a dirty comedian. I'm not dirty,
Yeah,
and I don't really talk about politics. I'm not,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just kind of keep to myself. I'm like, this is what I think is funny. But there is a theme that, like, if you're massive, they'll work with you, or if you talk about these things this way, they kind of like that. But
So you have some subjects that they're like you don't touch on
I don't
those.
think yeah, do I personally? Yeah, I have subjects that
Hmm.
I wouldn't touch on
Hmm.
because I don't. Yeah, I don't know if I don't know. I just I want to feel like a movie. When you
Hmm.
go to watch me, I want you to watch the movie and forget about your problems. I want you to
Hmm.
laugh and then you leave.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you're like, man, that was a good movie. I had a good
Yeah.
time in that movie. For me, I'm not trying to, like, there's comedians that talk about politics. I think that's great.
Hmm.
That's them.
Some impersonate politicians. They are funny
Yeah,
as
they're
hell.
really
Oh
good.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
they're really good. No.
Yeah. Do you impersonate
Mr.
anybody?
Buffett. No, no.
No?
Do I impersonate? I mean, I don't know. I do a few people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would you give me a demo of somebody?
A demo. What's a okay? Just name anybody.
I don't know. You want to do a politician, or you want to go for?
I just did Trump, so I'll do Biden. Are you ready?
Okay.
No joking. It's just like I don't know how to do any impressions.
Okay. So maybe
Hey,
you can.
Danny and John.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of like, man, you kind of catching me off guard a little bit because I had something in my head that I wanted to ask.
Oh yeah, talk.
Because we talk about the constraints of keeping comedy fluid and open and not being stuck by directives of the environment or the cultural influence of some sort. But your social media, that's what I want to talk about. Are you the one solely in charge of it? Or you don't have to disclose, by the way, if it's a trade secret.
You know what? I mean, I was told not to disclose it this morning, actually.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I have help. So I have I mean, I would say 99% of the time
All the
it's
dance moves are legit. You're not,
are the
being
desk
cloned.
moves.
The dance moves, the dance moves, because you got style, brother. Yeah, I see you sliding. Michael Jackson steps. Come on, man. You
No,
got the swagger.
I do a morning dance usually, and I that's part of my routine is I turn on music and I get in a good mood,
Right.
and everyone does. Everyone dances to music,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But I feel like people are like, I'm not gonna put the camera on it, but I'm like, look how dumb my dance
yeah.
moves are. I just kind of like I want people to feel like it's okay to be themselves.
Right.
Like people that's people's number one fear is people knowing who they are.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I want I want people to feel like it's okay to be themselves. I
yeah.
feel comfortable being myself, and I like to do my stupid dance moves in the morning. It feels great. It's my jam right there.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
What's next for you? Where you gonna be in the next few weeks? Give me like three dots on the map at least.
Oh man. So I'll be in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in a couple weeks.
Hmm.
And then I'll be in I don't remember.
Yeah. So
I would
so
have to look at my
so
phone.
if you could describe your calendar between now and the end of the year,
I would have to look.
on a given time, how many weeks of the month are you booked?
Every weekend, pretty much. I'll be in Fort Wayne, Irvine, California, then the Moorhead, California, on the 23rd, Salt Lake City, Sparks, Nevada. I'm usually booked.
So,
I'm,
so
I'm
is it mostly comedy clubs or a mixture of comedies and
it's
venues
a
or?
mixture because I'm doing in Fort Wayne they're comedy clubs, and then I'm doing another comedy club on the following Sunday after that, but it's a
Mhm.
500 seater, so it's like
Uh-huh.
it's a comedy club, but that's like a small theater.
Mhm.
And then I'm hosting something the following day, and then after that, it's a comedy club, and the following is going to be a theater. So it's called the it's in Sparks, Nevada. I forgot what the theater's called, but it just depends on where it's at. Because sometimes you go places and they don't have comedy clubs,
Yeah.
so you have to do theaters.
So is it mainly comedy clubs?
Yeah,
For the
yeah.
most part.
This is how most comedians work: is that you want to do comedy clubs because comedy clubs make the most amount of money,
Hmm.
and because the comedy clubs make their money off of food and alcohol, right?
Gotcha.
So you can get a higher percentage of the ticket sales. Theaters, you don't make that much money. If you're doing a theater, it's because you know you're so big that you can't fit in comedy clubs
I
because you
got
get a
you.
lower
I got you.
percentage, and you have to be massive.
Yeah.
And then after theaters, you have small theater, you have comedy clubs, small theaters, big theaters, stadiums.
Mhm.
So it's like, because the theaters all do, there may be like
You're
1,200.
definitely on your path. I
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
that,
yeah. I
man.
don't know, stadiums. That's crazy.
What's the largest performance?
Wembley Stadium.
Really?
Wembley, yeah, Wembley Stadium in
Wembley
Wembley.
in
Yeah.
in England?
In England, it was 10,000 people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it wasn't my show,
Man,
but I performed on it. Yeah,
that is awesome, man.
yeah, it was pretty crazy. It didn't feel. You know what? I did more than that. I did the Grove in Los Angeles, and that was 14,000 people. It was outside, but it didn't feel as good as like a 50 room.
Yep.
Like that's the best.
Yeah.
It's like a small room, like 50 people, maybe like 35 people in a small, packed, low ceiling. That's the best room.
Wow.
Because when you have low ceilings and you have compact, like the cellar in New
Everybody's
York,
there. Yeah.
everybody's there where it's intimate. You get the laughter just bounces off the ceiling. It's right there. When you do arenas and you do like outside, the laughter doesn't bounce off of anything. It dissipates.
Mm.
So it's like it doesn't like.
So you don't feel the effect, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel
You
as.
call that the bouncing effect, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
they have to mic up the audience almost. It's like
Yeah.
So, but,
That's awesome, man.
no,
Well, what can I say? And so I guess in jiu-jitsu now you want your purple belt,
I
huh?
want my purple belt, man.
There you
I
go.
want my purple belt.
And I know you had a couple of tournaments that you did
Yeah.
before you got your blue.
Yeah.
And how'd you feel?
I felt good.
Yeah.
I really felt like I was being a bully. Because I always felt like one of the guys I went up against had been training like 6 months, and he was like, yeah, I was like, man, I shouldn't be no white belt competition. It felt good. They never scored a point on me, so I felt really good. I'm really excited for blue because I know blue is like a big step up from like purple.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have other sandbagging people.
Yeah. There you go.
But
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do another competition in June.
All right.
Yes, pumped for that. Yeah.
Well, what can I say, man? We are so pleased to have you. I'm not sure if you want to add anything. I'd like to hear more about where to find you, any of the links and referrals that you can give right now. We're going to put that, of course, on our credits, but share some of the connections. How can we get a hold of you?
Preacher Lawson on everything. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
Yep.
All the socials is Preacher Lawson. I just made it LinkedIn for some reason.
and if just to finish, if you have any aspiring comedian, stand-up comedian that is going to be watching this, what would be your advice for them?
Oh, I would say get on stage immediately. I would say go on stage, write every single day like it's your morning coffee, and just have fun. Have fun, and you'll develop your style if you just keep going. That's with anything, discipline, hard work, and have fun.
Right on. All right, Mr. Preacher.
Thank you for having
me. Not Jovan, not Preston. Preacher Lawson, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. It was a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.